don't you just love when a platform wants to silence you for speaking the truth? Because that's exactly what's happening right now with Metacritic. They have responded to all of the Dragon Age the Veilguard backlash, saying this is a place of belonging for all fans, and they are deleting any reviews they deem as toxic. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, obviously, they can try to silence people. They can try to remove all of the reviews they want, but it's only going to cause things to get worse for them, because while you might delete one review, somebody may leave 3 more to prove their point, and that's what's happening. But this is a Eurogamer article. It says review aggregation site Metacritic has spoken out in response to the ongoing review bombing of Veilguard by online commenters upset at the game's inclusive characters and themes. People are not only upset over the game's inclusivity, okay? While yes, things like diversity and inclusivity are very good when they are done naturally, we can see that they are simply following social trends with this game by using modern terminology like transgender, non-binary, having you pick your pronouns. I mean, it's identity politics, the game, plain and simple, but they want to just dumb it down to people are angry at inclusive characters, which certainly isn't the case. And that's not even getting into all of the problems the game itself has, like its lopsided pacing, its really bad character development, a lot of the voice acting is only mediocre, the gameplay is good but gets quite repetitive. It's a game that could have been 10 to 12 hours long that they made 30 hours minimum to make sure that you were constantly in game, which just isn't a winning strategy in my opinion. But now, of course, people are voicing their opinions and Metacritic is trying to silence them. It says BioWare's latest Dragon Age Epic holds a generally favorable review average of 84 on Metacritic based on a consensus of 54 critic scores. It does not deserve an 84 by any stretch of the means unless you are somebody who does not know the franchise in totality. I guess if you had never played a Dragon Age game before and you only played this, sure, you'd probably have a bit of fun with it, but that's just because you're not emotionally invested in some of the characters that are in this, like Varric, like Solus. You're missing a lot of backstory and information that is significantly more important than anything in this game, right? Just go and play Dragon Age Origins. It's a fantastic experience. This is a absolute nightmare in my opinion and a lot of other people's. It's just not Dragon Age. But it says the game's Metacritic user score is listed as just a 3.8 out of 10, with a majority of user opinions falling in the starkly negative range. Looking at some of the most recent reviews at the time of writing, these include numerous scores of 0 out of 10 for content in the game repeatedly described as woke. It's hilarious to me that they are not mentioning the fact that this is also being positively review bombed. There are people who are trying to just leave 10s to counteract these low scores. There are people who are trying to say, oh my god, it's amazing, and, you know, screw the chuds, which is very important context to add to the story, but they don't care because that doesn't fit their narrative. Awful dialogue and obviously some woke agenda psyop reads a 0 out of 10 review from one user. This is censorship at its worst. Woke killed the game, but the gameplay is nice. This is what happens when you try to force push DEI and sexual ideology in a fantasy game, so they're banning people for speaking the truth. They're removing reviews for people speaking the truth. That's all that's really happening here. People are not lying. There's no lies detected. And because they've now come out and said this right here, people are definitely making Metacritic's life worse. We take online trust and safety very seriously across all of our sites, including Metacritic, the spokesperson said. Metacritic has a moderation system in place to track violations of our terms of use. Our team reviews each and every report of abuse, included but not limited to racist, sexist, homophobic, insults to others, etc. And if violations occur, the reviews are removed. But now it's only caused the Streisand effect to happen because there are tons of people saying, oh, my review was removed. And so I decided to go and leave a bunch more that said the same exact thing, which really is the only way to counteract situations like this happening. Obviously, I wish that we could all just leave one review with our genuine opinions after playing the game and that be that. But the problem is that companies do not listen to us. If we go on social media and give our opinions, they just call us ists and phobes. If we try to, reach out to them in other ways, like, say, for example, petitions, they do not listen to us. And so we have to do things that make them pay attention, like leaving reviews on Metacritic. That is why things like review bombing happens, and you have people who just want their voices to be heard. And while I do not think that they care about our takes 98% of the time, because they are narcissists who believe that they can do no wrong and that what they are doing is correct and the best outcome possible, it's just sad to see that this is the best game that they could have come up with, I guess, because they're all fucking activists and they're not good at their jobs, but they are still not listening to us, right? And now we have Metacritic releasing statements saying they're going to remove content that they basically deem offensive, but the problem is that they could deem anything as offensive. So I bet any 0 out of 10s that are added are just going to instantly be moderated, and it still doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it doesn't really seem like a lot of people bought this game. Multiple insiders are confirming the disastrous sales and also the huge refunds for Dragon Age the Veilguard. A second source from inside BioWare or EA has seemingly affirmed the disastrous sales numbers that have been floated around Dragon Age the Veilguard. Endymion had claimed the game only sold about 500,000 copies in a little over a week. Not only did he share that the game's sales were only around 500K, but he also revealed that players are refunding the game in droves. We also have Dragon Age the Veilguard peak player counts decrease over 30% from the all-time peak in just a singular week, which is absolutely hilarious to me. I am still live streaming my playthrough. When I'm uploading this tomorrow evening, I will be finishing it. So far, it is a terrible game. I am thoroughly disappointed. There's really nothing in this that I could outright praise. I think that a lot of the environments are kind of pretty, and I think that the combat is fun, but it does get quite repetitive, and there's like 2 decent characters, and that's it. Those are the only things that I could say are a positive for this game, which is really sad after 9 years of waiting for this title to release. So of course, I will continue to keep my eye on this situation to see if anybody else from Metacritic decides to come out and make any statements, but it's not really a shocker that they're trying to silence us. We know that the Dragon Age subreddit was also doing the same thing. They were trying to remove lots of posts. They were getting flooded though, and it took them a lot of time, and there were a lot that were staying up, but they did silence people that way. We have Metacritic silencing gamers all around. Not a shocking situation. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.